Hello, and welcome to LSET Tech Byte.
Today we have an exciting tutorial for you. We're going to learn how to create a simple memory card game using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Let's start by looking at the HTML structure of our game. Here we have the basic setup for our memory card game. It's contained within the div element with a class of wrapper. Inside this wrapper we have a list with each card represented as a list item. Each card has two sides, a front view and a back view. The front view initially shows a question mark icon, indicating that the card is face down and not yet revealed. The back view contains an image specific to that card. At the bottom of our game area, we have a details section which displays the time remaining and the number of flips the player has made. Lastly, we have a refresh button at the end. This button will allow the player to reset the game if they want to start over. Following that, we link an external style sheet named style.css using the link tag. This style sheet will contain our CSS rules for styling the game. We've linked our JavaScript file at the bottom of the HTML, which is responsible for making our game interactive and functional. Now we'll break down the CSS code step by step, explaining each line to understand how we're styling our game. Firstly, we have styles for the wrapper element, which contains our game. We've set padding, background color, border radius, and box shadow to give it a visually appealing look. Moving on, we've defined styles for our cards. We're using Flexbox to arrange them in a grid-like layout. Each card has a cursor pointer indicating it's clickable. We've also added some animation effects using keyframes to make the card shake when there's an action like mismatching. The view class styles represent the front and back views of the cards. These views are absolutely positioned to overlap each other, creating the flip effect. The back face visibility property ensures that the back face of the card is hidden until it's flipped. We've added styles for flipping the cards when they're clicked. This involves rotating them along the y-axis. Next, we have styles for the details section, which displays information like time and flips. It's positioned below the cards and styled with padding, border radius, and box shadow for a neat appearance. Finally, we've styled the refresh button. It's given a background color, padding, border radius, and shadow to make it stand out and look clickable. Now we'll break down the JavaScript code step by step, explaining each line to understand how we're making our game interactive. First, we're declaring variables to select elements from our HTML document. We're targeting the cards, time tag, flips tag, and the refresh button. Next, we're initializing various game-related variables such as maximum time, time left, flips count, matched cards count, and flags to control game state. We define a function init timer to handle the game timer. It decreases the time left every second and stops the timer when time runs out. The flip card function handles the flipping of cards when they are clicked. It also starts the game timer if it's not already running. The match cards function checks if the flipped cards match. If they match, the cards remain face up. If not, they shake briefly before flipping back. The shuffle card function resets the game state, shuffles the cards, and starts a new game. We call the shuffle card function to initialize the game when the page loads. We add event listeners to the refresh button and all the cards to trigger the shuffling and flipping functions respectively. So there you have it. With this JavaScript code, we've successfully incorporated all the necessary functionality into our memory card game, transforming it into a fully playable experience. For regular updates, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.